I wanted to hop on here to share the insights of being a healer and quantum entanglement and alchemization and all of the things that come from being me and being a healer. And any other healers out there may also align with this or resonate with this. When individuals agree to work with me, what basically happens within the field is we start to quantum entangle, which is a time and we basically come into agreement to meet. And so what happens is we start to quantum entangle. And I start receiving information that the person may need, or start connecting with their field and start being shown the areas that are needed to work on or work through, or seeing any darker energies, entities that need to be released, or I'll be guided to a specific place or start receiving information. The interesting thing is when we make that agreement to meet to do a healing session, our energies and frequencies start immediately connecting, right? The individual on the other side, they start energetically preparing for this, and I start energetically preparing. And so it was interesting that I didn't recognize it at the time, which I should have, but over the last few days, I had been moving through stuff that I had already worked on, which I found a little bit interesting on why it was coming up in my field again, and didn't think to sit down and ask, was it even mine, and why it was even coming up. On my end, the body starts going through shifts and changes because I start alchemizing. So my physical being, my consciousness starts picking up on all of the energetic information that the person is moving through. Like I shared yesterday, which many people work through, is the feeling of not good enough. And I didn't recognize even how our body will physically change as we're connecting with the individuals. And this happens in general, even when you're in spaces with people or super close and connected, you can start merging with their fields and you start picking up on certain traits. You may notice your language, your speech, your thoughts, different things start shifting and changing because you made an agreement to basically merge with their field, and whether it's conscious or unconscious. And for a healer, I started noticing changes in my body. Like I said, didn't think to ask if it was even my stuff, didn't sit down with it. I just started immediately alchemizing it. So I was already supporting prior to us even having our session, and then recognizing as I was listening to this individual, everything that was being spoken was what I had been moving through. So I was already pre-gaming prior to our session to alchemize what was needed. Even our higher selves, our higher aspects start communicating in the astral realm, starts providing information to both individuals to prepare for it, basically. Now, that's like one form of quantum entanglement, make an agreement, start alchemizing for the individual, which is fine because that's the intention behind it, is to agree to have a healing session. The other element to this is when individuals reach out or are inquiring about a healing session, they are connecting with my frequency. And so my frequency will bring up a lot of the stuff that they haven't dealt with and people don't recognize it. So they start feeling nervous or fearful or getting anxious about the session or meeting with me because we have agreed to, I would support you in this way and you support me in the exchange. Due to the intention behind the engagement is a healing session. So what people on the other side are not recognizing, they start going through questioning, they start going through fears, all their stuff that they've been needing to address starts coming up and being active in their field. And that's why some people don't follow through, because my frequency wants to start purifying your being, your experience, your consciousness. And that can cause the other individual, if they're not conscious and aware of what is happening and why they're feeling the way they do, or why all of their stuff is now flying up in their face, is because it's coming up to be alchemized. It's coming up to be addressed. So people will retract their energy because they can't handle the uncomfortable feeling of that they are going to actually have to look at, feel, face, deal with the energies and frequencies that are in their being. And even sometimes, this isn't always the case, but if there's some strong entities that are holding and attaching, those don't want to be removed. They will tell you not to meet with me because they don't want to be removed from wherever they've been latched onto because they've been using this. And I'm just saying this for awareness. And some individuals are heavy in demonic consciousness, and I've worked with them and they were wonderful learning opportunities, but there is no judgment. They hold a higher level of demonic consciousness. And I remember working with one individual that we did so much work, and we could say exorcism or extraction of entities. Individual stated felt really good after, was receiving clarity, was receiving all of this information, felt normal, and immediately the next session, this individual had basically acquired everything that had been released, and that was because this individual did not have a desire to purify their consciousness or remove these beings, and actually was a portal to the underworld and was manipulating, and we learned through doing, and that was a huge learning for my purpose on learning about individuals that are holding more demonic consciousness than human consciousness or light consciousness, or they may have dual spirits where they've allowed one to take over more than the other, and that's just what it is, and it's all okay and it's all beautiful, but those are not the individuals that I'm guided to be working with if they are not intending to evolve or expand beyond what they previously were. I know that was a whole lot of information, but I thought it needed to be shared for people to have an understanding on the back end of a session, just for awareness. I'm feeling complete on that message, and so with all of that, I am sending everybody so much love.